Good evening, this is Cab, here to drive you crazy. You might hear it from the tone of my voice. I am actually not in the greatest of moods right now. This is going to be kind of a rant video, so you can just leave if you don't want to hear a rant video right now. But if you opened up this video, you clearly see what the title says and why I am going to share my reason on why I am never ever going to suggest anybody to ever buy another or any vehicle from Windward Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Hyundai. It was back in like 2016. I was owning a 2007 Dodge Neon, which was just a car for me to get around at the time. Never really had too much ambitions on trying to get a good vehicle, just something that I knew was able to get around. But it came to a point where the vehicle really had way too many problems for even me to really want to put that much money and time invested into the car to really fix it up. And so the way I looked at it, I just wanted to get a newer car that was going to be safer and be able to have something that I didn't need to worry about besides, I'm guessing, payments by this point, because what I wanted to do was get a nice car. Didn't want anything fancy, didn't want anything too showboaty in a way, I could say. So I traded in a Dodge Neon for a 2014 Dodge Dart. And I really liked the Dart. Good car, didn't give me problems, I enjoyed it. The dealership side of it is really, really stingy. And that's just going to be as simple as I can say. Unless you're a car expert in that kind of field where going to dealerships and negotiating out those kind of, talk about trying to purchase vehicles is not your strong suit. You're kind of like me, who was a guy who is generally nice, generally understanding, but I will make my point. But here is where my issue lies. I had owned the vehicle for about 3 years, a little over 3 years, paid off half of it by that point, but at the same time I kind of didn't want the vehicle anymore. Long stories on that, to reasons why I didn't want it. Again, certain things that I didn't want to have to worry about for the vehicle, knowing that at the time that I was looking to trade it in, the car got discontinued by Dodge. So a lot of the parts for this particular Dart as well, because of the sub-model that it had, a lot of the parts was not even available dealer wise, and I even work at a Napa Auto Parts store, so I couldn't even get these parts for my own vehicle. So the way I looked at it was, I didn't want to have to put in the time and effort to buy parts, from an outside source to be able to then fix my car that way. So instead, what I decided to do was take the car back to Dodge to try and trade in for another newer vehicle. Problem was, apparently, and I'm going to share only what I have full knowledge about now, because none of this was ever shared to me, none of this was ever mentioned, and none of this even came full circle until after the fact that the car was gone and the other payments had to be made. But again, don't want to jump too far ahead. I traded in the Dart, where they said that they were going to give me a trade-in value for the car and apply it onto my new 2018 Dodge Challenger that I was getting for myself. At the time, the 2018 Challenger was 1 year old, but it had almost like 19,000 miles on it. I dealt with it, and I've held that car for just under a year. When I traded in that car when I traded in the Dart for the Challenger, what Dodge never decided to mention to me was the fact that the Dart was not going to get valued in the trade-in because I still did owe $10,000 for the vehicle. So instead of having a trade-in value for the car, they just decided take the rest of that car payment and put it on the new car that I'm about to get. That Dodge Challenger I got quoted at $29,000. And then they decided to say to me, oh, so now what you're technically going to have to be paying is $39,000 with a 7% interest rate. And all of this coming without ever being explained to me. Again, I asked them, am I going to get a trade-in value for the car? They said yes. They didn't decide to say, oh, because you have payments, that the trade-in value wasn't going to even matter and the payments were going to get shifted and put on to your new car. None of that was mentioned to me. The other thing that is now my biggest bother about the whole thing is the simple fact that I am going to be leaving. I had to get rid of the car, and I wanted to try and see if I could put it on market to see what kind of value I can get for it. And unfortunately, I wasn't getting that much buyers, and I was to a point where I kind of need to get the money as soon as possible, so that way I know I have a better insurance of knowing when I can actually leave. Because right now a lot of this is time based, and it all comes down to exactly how fast this can work out. Long story short, I was able to pay off the 2018 Challenger completely. So that means now that 2014 Dodge Dart and the 2018 Dodge Challenger were two cars completely paid off. I went back to Windward Dodge to ask them what kind of payment they would be willing to give me back for this 2018 Challenger that I already had spent $39,000 on to completely pay it off. And while I never wanted to get rid of this car, I understand it is the best benefit for me knowing that I am gonna have to leave and that extra money is necessary. Go to Dodge. They only wanted to give me $17,500. Just think of that. Two cars completely paid off, over $50,000 put in between both of these cars. $50,000. And this company wants to look at me and say $17,500 is only feasible for you. For what? For the fact that that 2014 Dodge Dart that I didn't get any money out of in the trade-in value got resold, and you got to sell that thing for another $24,000, and now you're gonna take my Challenger, a Challenger that I never even had for a year, never even owned it for a full year, and it's gone for nothing. And of course, I was able to talk to them and try to make sure I was going to get whatever kind of value off of it. And again, all they wanted to give was $19,000. I spent $31,000 for this company, and I don't even have one of the vehicles right now for it. No, I am sorry. I cannot accept it, and I cannot accept the fact that they understood with everything that I've shared with them, how much money I've put into them, and all this, that they can still look at me and still say to me that they can only do so much to help me. The way I look at it right now, Windward Dodge, you're worthless. I'm sorry. as a Christian, I am going to try and keep this as PG as possible. But that is absolutely the worst service that I've ever had to deal with. The people who chose never to share any true information with me, because again, if I don't ask it, they don't seem to need to say it, right? Don't call yourself for the people. You're for your people. You are for your company making money for yourself. You didn't do anything for me. You made me have to scringe and scratch and claw to get another 1,500 for my trade-in, which made it sound like it was such a big deal for you guys. A multi-billion-dollar company. You're gonna tell me an extra 1,500 for my trade-in that you can easily resell at another $28,000 and get that money back plus extra is it's beyond me. To know that you think that even trying to help me out in that is too generous for you guys to do for me. No, I don't accept it, and I don't accept the fact that not only are they gonna only tell me that I'm gonna get 19,000 for this trade-in, it's gonna take 3 weeks for them to send me that money. I'm like, hello, I just said I am on a time basis for when I have to leave, and now you're gonna tell me wait 3 weeks? Man, you're lucky that I'm posting this thing on YouTube, because I can kid you not, come with police officers. If I have to come back there within a 3 weeks time period and know that I don't have that check, you'll see. You have no idea how corrupt that place is. 0 stars, as far as I'm concerned, is all I'm willing to ever give you guys. I apologize for this rant video, but again, I will say it as simple as I say it. Never buy a car from Windward Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep. They could sue me all they want. Go right ahead. It's not like you only want more money from me anyway, right? Thank you very much for watching. I am Cab, and I'm here to drive you crazy. Thank you again for listening. God bless. Aloha. Take care.